Good afternoon, everybody. So we will start off with our safety disclaimer. These classes and what I say are not medical advice. Please consult with your healthcare professionals before making changes to manage your health. This presentation does not represent Parkinson Canada's endorsement of products or treatment related to Parkinson's disease. This presentation is meant to provide general information. If you have specific questions about managing Parkinson's disease for yourself or for others, please contact info@parkinson.ca or you can call 1-800-565-3000. Again, that number is 1-800-565-3000. Well, hi everybody. This is your at-home workout. Great to see you guys. It is the month of August, and these classes are brought to you by Parkinson Canada. My name is Letain. I am the events coordinator here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Just got a message last week that yes, we have people down in the United States, down in Florida and California. We also have people in the Philippines that are watching these classes. And then we also have Arthur. He's all the way up in the Arctic Circle. Great big hi to Arthur over there. So if you're new to these classes, welcome. It's great to have you on board. I look forward to working with you. If you're a veteran of these classes, a great big thank you for your patronage. It's great having you on board, and you know how much it means to me when I do hear from you, so don't hesitate to contact me. These live classes are brought to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, and they're typically held at 1:30 Central. They are also found recorded on the Parkinson Canada Manitoba Facebook group page. Wow, that is a mouthful. So yes, all you have to do is like the Parkinson Canada Manitoba Facebook group, and you will be you'll have the opportunity to see all the recordings that we've done. And you can also find these classes are posted on the Parkinson Canada YouTube channel. These classes are a part of the movement. It's part of the Super Walk. It's a monthly challenge designed to help encourage you get your 150 minutes of exercise per week. It's more than just exercise. It's exercise with meaning. It is very purposeful. We are looking for intense exercises. That's where the magic is going to happen, when we're pushing and challenging ourselves, and we're going to get that growth and development so that we can get more dopamine being passed on, so that the messages are being sent to our muscles and back to our brain. The month of August, we are looking at the 100,000 step challenge. And then, of course, the month of September, we have the Parkinson Canada Super Walk itself. This year's walk is a virtual walk, so we're encouraging you to still collect your pledges and do your fundraising. But then on the date of September the 12th, which is Saturday, we're asking you to walk with your family and friends and loved ones in a community near you. Just smaller groups, because of the current health pandemic that we're living through right now. We just cannot have the large collective gatherings that we've had in the past. So surround yourself with family and friends and loved ones, people who know that you're healthy, and get out and walk in your neighborhood. Yes, so if you haven't checked out the movement, definitely check it out. If you haven't registered for Superwalk, that's where you're going to find the movement. So www.superwalk.ca, or you can always call 1-800-565-3000 and Alejandro will help get you set up. But while you're on the website itself, check out the tools, and in the tools you'll find Walk in a Box. Walk in a Box is a toolkit that's designed to help you plan, promote, and celebrate the Parkinson Canada Super Walk. There are a lot of useful tools on there. And for those of you that have a working relationship with your community development coordinator, like here in Manitoba, we have Carrie Lynn Smith Goods, who's out in Brandon. We also have Donna Greening, who's here in Winnipeg. Communicate with them, and we should be able to get you a physical toolbox itself. And within that toolbox, you'll find posters that you can put your own pictures on, designed to help promote the activity, and just how to plan and then of course celebrate the Super Walk Day itself. So just wanted to talk to you a little bit about benefits. If you haven't checked out this book. It is definitely worthwhile checking out. It is your Parkinson's disease and introductory guide. By all means, if you're newly diagnosed and you want to learn more, or you're a caregiver and you want to learn more about Parkinson's disease, this resource is absolutely essential. Great place to start off with. Could answer those questions you might feel silly asking somebody else. Don't though. Again, a lot of the information is in here. It's a pretty easy read. My first day with Parkinson Canada, my managing supervisor, Lori Apps, gave this to me to read, and it was one of the best things that I could have done. It brought me up to speed really fast. I also wanted to talk to you about these little balls here. So these are from TheraBand themselves, but you could use tennis balls, you can use other sorts of balls. They are designed to help you work with your grip strength and to work with those fine little muscles that are responsible for your fingers. You can also use these with your toes. So there's green, it's a little bit more of a stiff ball. Red is softer, and then you can get a yellow, which is even softer yet. But there's lots of different ways that you can use it. So you try to squeeze this way, you can try and poke down that way, you can use them for squeezing like this. You name it, great things to have. Something if you're traveling in a car, you're a passenger, and you want to work with these balls, it's a great time to work on those little muscles. You're watching TV, you could be doing the same sort of thing, working. The more that we're working at our with sort of strengthening and conditioning, that's a good thing. That's what we want. When we are doing any sort of strength training, that's when we're going to have more muscle growth. And the theory is when we have, oh, my cat Kona came to visit. Say hi, Kona. When we have more growth and development with our muscles, there's going to be more dopamine that is made available. And of course, that's what we need if you have Parkinson's disease. We want to be able to have more dopamine present, and we want to be able to use that dopamine more efficiently. So yes, strength training, by all means, it should be a part of your exercise routine. Speaking of exercise and routine, how about we get going with the class here? I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit, take off my glasses because they will go flying for sure. Today's class, you will need some sort of resistance if you have anything. I'm using cans of peas. You can use TheraBands, you can use surgical tubing. If you don't have anything, that's okay, you don't need to. You can just use gravity. We'll be using gravity as well. So now would be a great time to get them, and let's get into our warm-up. So it's a beautiful day here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's sunny, high clouds, not too hot, perfect time for exercising. So you know how we start off our classes. We start them off the same way every single time. I'm going to ask you to sit up nice and straight, or stand up nice and straight. Let's pull our shoulders back. Let's put some smiles on our faces. We're going to close our eyes, and you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Here we go. In and out. In and out. One more time. In and out. Opening our eyes. We're going to do 3 more breaths in. As we do, we're raising our hands above our head. Big breath in. And out. Big breath in. And out. Last one. Great big breath in. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And breathe it out. I don't know about you, but I'm already starting to feel better. I love exercise. One of the great things about it is that you do feel good about yourself after. Okay, so you know what we're doing now. We are doing our slap, clap, snap. So we're slapping our thighs 5 times, clapping our hands 5 times, and snapping our fingers 5 times. Then we're going to go down to 1, and then all the way back to 5. Ready, gang? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, all right. Well, we're clued in now. We're cued in. We know what we have coming up ahead of us here. We have our cardio, with our strength conditioning, our balance training, and some flexibility training, and then of course specific exercises. All right. So next thing that we're going to do, we're just going to tap our heel. Tap one heel, stationary heel taps. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Changing our feet. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, now we're going to transition into some swimming. Again, this can all be done from a standing or a sitting position. So I'm going to do the front crawl. And for those of you that are swimmers, you know this is the freestyle. So we're bringing one arm all the way back and around and to the front. Round and to the front. Around and to the front. Now the purpose of our warm-up is to get our body ready for exercise. It's a good time to evaluate how you're feeling. If you're feeling up to doing the class right now, if so, that's great. If not, no worries. All these classes are recorded, so you'll be able to access them when you are feeling a little bit better, when you are feeling a little bit stronger. Now we're going to do back crawl, one arm and then the next, one arm and then the next. For those of you that have any sort of shoulder issues, something like this could be painful, so you can make some modifications. You can just go to the side like this, or you can just do one arm over and over again. But if you do have the full range of motion in your shoulders, let's do a nice full back crawl. Alright, now from here we're going to do our breaststroke. So both hands are in front and we're pulling to the side, so our arms are at a 90-degree angle, together and out. Side, together, and out. Side, together, and out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're just going to step to the side. So our feet are together. We're going to step one foot to the side, and back, side, and back, side, and back, side, and back. Okay. Whew, and back, side, and back. Yeah, so for our warm-up, this is very slow, and it's purposely slow. As we get older, it does get harder to get up to speed, so it's going to take a little bit more time to warm up, and the same will be with our cool down. We definitely have to make time to cool things down, slow our heart rate down, and back, side, and back, side, and back. Okay, that's it for our warm-up. Now we're going to transition into our cardio. So if you need to have a sip of water, now would be a great time to have a sip of water. I'm going to do just that. Wow, that's good. Nothing like fresh water. Okay, so a lot of what we're doing, again, can be done from a standing or a seated position. You do whatever is best for you. Some of these exercises, believe it or not, are more challenging to do sitting down. So if you do need a more of a challenge of a workout, try sitting down for once. Okay, so we're going to start off with our go-to move. Our go-to move is a march. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. march, march and march. March, 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 march. So let's add some upper body. So the more muscle groups that we have moving, the harder it's going to be. And the harder it's going to be, more calories we're burning, the more benefits we're going to be getting. And that's what we want. So let's pick it up. March and march. March, 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 march. How do we stand up? March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. All right. For those of you that need a little more intense workout, they can raise your knees. So let's just all start off by going knee up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. Again, we can make it harder by bringing your knees up, keeping the pace the same. But just bringing your knees up a little bit higher. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. Don't mind me. Just have to adjust my earpiece here. It's also my microphone, believe it or not. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. So we're going to go for a little bit of a run here. We're going to pick up the intensity. I'm going to do it from a seated position here. Here we go. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. All right. Feeling good? March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. All right. So now we're going to do some alternating, some wides and some narrows here. Eventually we're just going to keep it wide, then we're going to go do some toe tapping. So, in 4, 3, 2, and 1, here we go. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, wide. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Narrow, narrow. Okay. So let's pick up the pace just a little bit. Here we go. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Narrow, 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 narrow. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep it narrow. Keep that pace going though. All right. So we're looking at that 15 to 20 minutes of continuous movement. Today's class is going to be a little bit hard. That's okay. For those of you that have been with me right from the get-go, you can do this. I know you can. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. March, march, march and march. March, march, march and march. Bring it wide. Hold it wide. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. No hands. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. Slowing it down. March, 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 and march. Okay, so from here, we're going to transition into some toe taps. It's going to look like this. Tap, and tap, tap, and tap, tap, and tap, tap, and tap. Let's add some arms, and tap, 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 and tap, tap, and tap. Those of you who need a little more intense, you can bring your arms up higher like this. Tap, or tap. Or you could even bring your hands above your head. But if it's too hard for you, you don't even need to do your hands. You can just do the tap. This is tough enough. Tap, and tap, tap, and tap, tap, and tap, tap, and tap. Okay, like I said, I'm trying to do everything both from a seated and a standing position, just to show you that both can be done. And tap, tap. Alright, so we're going to change this move up just a little bit. If you can, I'm going to ask you to bring your heel up like this. If that's too hard, you can just keep down low. But if you can, let's see if you can get your heels coming up towards your buttocks. Let's add some arms. Tap, and tap, tap, and tap, tap, and tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No arms. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to side step. To side, side, to side. All right, that feels good. To side, side, to side. All right. How about we try and add a little bit of arms into this? Let's try some disco arms. You know what I mean. So it's going to be up and up, out and up, out and up, out. If it hurts too much in your shoulders to raise your arms up high, you can push out in front. That works too. Out and out, out and out. Keep it going. When you're reaching out in front, let's make some fists. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, said a mosquito, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to side steps. Side, to side. Oh, Mr. Honeybee. To side, side, to side. There we go. To side, side, to. Alright. How you feeling? I hope okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, halfway there, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's march it out. Good cardio session today, gang. Keep it up. We're more than halfway done. Keep it going. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. Let's get your knees up higher. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heel taps. Out and out, out and out. Darn mosquitoes are getting me. Well, that mosquito, little flies are biting me. Tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap. All right, so now we're going to add a little cha-cha. So every time we bring our heel back, we're going to do a cha-cha. Here we go. Cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, 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 cha-cha-cha. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, march it out. From here, we're going to finish off our cardio. We're going to do a little bit of waltzing. So, all I'm going to ask you to do, if you're sitting down, it's nice and safe to close your eyes. Just imagine you're waltzing with somebody. If you're standing up, just make sure the area around you is nice and safe. Again, we're just looking at 15 to 20 minutes of continuous movement here. The more we're engaging with our upper body and our lower body, the better it is, and the more intense the workout will be. Swaying to the music. Would be nice if we had some music, wouldn't it? I don't have any music playing because for me it's hard to tell if you can hear me or not. So if there is music playing, I wouldn't be able to get any feedback letting me know you're hearing me or you're not hearing me. Keep swaying to the music in your head. Another minute, keep on moving. You can waltz around in your room, in your hallway. The bigger the movement, the more calories you're going to be burning. Dancing, of course, is one of the best things that you can do for exercise if you have Parkinson's disease. Navigating with a partner, to having you stimulating to think, your muscles are moving, lots of good things going on. 30 more seconds, gang. Keep it going. Feel it. Alright. Keep it moving. Wish it was a Saturday night. Going out with my sweetie. Going out for a little dancing. Seems like a lifetime ago. Alright, so we just finished our cardio. So now we're going to do a little cardio cool down here. We're doing a slow march. No arms, just our legs. March and march. March and march. March and march. March. And now we're going to pick some apples. Reach across your body. Across and down. Across and down. Across and down. Across and down. And down. And down. Across and down. Across and down. Alright. From here, we're going to transition into some shoulder shrugs. We're going up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. One shoulder up and down. Up and down. Another shoulder up and down. and down. Together, up and down, up and down. So the purpose of our cardio cool down, of course, is to slow our heart rate down, bring it back to more of a normal resting rate, bringing our breathing rate down a little bit too. Now we're going to transition to shoulder rolls front and shoulder rolls back. Shoulder rolls front and shoulder rolls back. Alright, so from here, let's now transition into some waving. We're just going to wave our hand, one hand this time, and down, other hand, waving our hand, things we take for granted, and down, and waving one hand, and the other. Waving one more time, each hand, and waving the other hand, and down. And that's it. We've just finished our cardio warm-up, our cardio, and our cardio cool down. So now would be a great time to grab a sip of water if you need a sip of water. I myself need a little sip of water. It tastes so good. Alright, now we're going to transition into our strength training. And as I said, you will need some sort of resistance if you have any around. I'm using some chickpeas. If you have hand weights, you can use hand weights. If you don't have anything, you don't need to have anything. We're doing everything that's very slow and purposeful. So, yeah, it's still going to be a workout if you have no hand weights. Alright, so the first thing that we are going to do is that we're going to do our bicep curls. So we're just going to have our arms tight to the side, elbows nice tight to our body. Our palms are facing forward. As you can see, I've got my chickpeas. I'm going up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Up, down, up, and down. 3 more. Up, and down, up, and down. 1 more. Up, and down. All right. We can put our weights down to shake it out. We're going to try and do 6 more. So it's really important that we're doing some strength training if you have Parkinson's disease, because we're going to get more growth and development growing of those muscles, and that's what we want. The more muscle growth that we have, or at least maintaining what we have, the theory is that there's going to be more dopamine that's made available to pass on those synaptic interchange between your muscles and your brain. So again, strength training, very, very important if you have Parkinson's disease. We're going to try and do 6 more. Again, elbows are nice and tight to our body, palms facing forward. We're going up and down. There's 2. And down. Here's 3. And 4. 5 and 6. All right, take a rest now. Shake out our arms. Now we're going to do some chest presses. So with our chest press, I'm going to demonstrate using the cans, but I'm actually going to do them without holding on to the cans. It is still challenging to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my cans. I'm going to bend my arms so they're at a 90-degree angle. I don't know if you can see that, but my arms are at a 90-degree angle. What I'm doing is I'm pressing straight out, my hands come together, and then back. Again, very slow, very purposeful. As I said, I'm going to do these without any sort of resistance, because it's still challenging enough. I'm going to think of my posture, sitting up nice and straight, shoulders back. My arms are bent. Here we go. Out, 2, 3, and back, 2, 3. Here's 2, and back, 3. Halfway done, and back, 4, and back, 5. One more, gang, one more. Here we go. Out and back. Woo! Man, that feels good. Now you really feel it in the pectoral region here, your chest. So we're going to give it a quick second here. We're going to try and do 6 more. I'm going to give you a profile shot so I'll show you what it looks like from the side. Again, I'm sitting up nice and straight. My shoulders are back. I'm going to have my hands bent like this. I'm going forward and back. That's 1. We're doing 6. Here's 2. And back. Here's 3. And back. 4. And back. And 5. And back. Last one. 6. And back. Whew. Wow, that's it for upper body. So yes, very important that we're doing some, if you have bradykinesia or you have any sort of pain with your upper body, with your muscles, do some strength training focusing on those muscles. Biceps are the largest muscle we have in our arms, great muscles. Those are our carrying, our lifting sort of muscles. You're picking up your grandchildren, you're going to give them a big hug. That's those muscles that you're using. Alright, now we're going to do our sit to stands. There's no way we can avoid doing the sit to stands. So the sit to stands, we are starting off in a sitting position and we're going to end up in a standing position. These are working our quadricep muscles here, our largest muscles in our body. You're going to notice that my feet are nice and wide. My feet are going to be wider than my shoulders. So that when I am standing, I've got a nice solid foundation below me here. I'm going to keep my core nice and tight. I'm going to think about my posture. As you're going to see, standing up, going up. Important thing, when I'm going down, you're going to see me shoot my butt back and down. So I'm not bending over. It's more shooting your butt to the back is the key. So we're going to do 6. Ready, gang? Here we go. Up and down. Shoot that butt back out. Here's 2. If you can only stand up an inch, that's awesome. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. That's hard to do. Here's 3. Halfway done. One more, 4, actually 2 more, and down. Here's 5, and 6, and down. All right, we'll give it a quick break. We're just going to stretch out our obliques, our abdominal obliques, muscles along the side of your body. Stretching one side. Twisting your trunk to the other. Just a nice, slow, gentle stretch. Feels good. Alright, we're going to try 6 more. If you can only do 4, you can only do 4. That's fine. It's not a competition. And as I said, if you can only stand excuse me, an inch, that's awesome. You know, standing up that inch is going to be like transitioning from a chair onto your bed, or a chair into a car, chair onto a toilet. Again, we got to work at those muscles. We got to try and keep them as strong as we can for as long as we can. All right, we're doing 6, gang, here. So we're going up and down. Shoot your butt back. Up and down. Another. And down. Up and down. Last one. Up and down. All right. So from here, we are going to do our knee raise with an extension. You can do this from a sitting or a standing position. I'm going to demonstrate sitting down, but I'm going to do them standing up. So sitting down, we're just going to sit up nice and straight. You're going to raise your knee up, 2, 3. Keep your foot out for 3. Foot back for 3. And down for 3. From a standing position, it will be the same thing. We are going to do 4 on one leg, then we're going to switch it up and do 4 on the other leg. As you can see, I'm going to have a chair there to hang on to, just provides me a little bit of stability that at times I might need. So here we go. Up, 2, 3, out, back, and down. That's 1. Again, much better to do this slow. You get way more doing it slow than doing it fast. It's harder to do. And again, we want to push ourselves outside our comfort zone. We want things to be a little bit more challenging. And down, last 1. Up, out, back, and down. Changing our legs. Again, I'm still going to have my chair nearby there in case I need it to hang on to. Going up, 2, 3, out, back, and down, up, out, back, and down. 2 more, up, out, back, and down. Last 1, up, out, back, and down. Well, not only is that a workout, a strength workout, but we're also working on our balance there. That's a good thing. If we can have exercises that incorporate a little bit of aerobic and some strength and balance, you're going to get a lot more benefit out of that. Alright, so we're going to finish things off with a calf raise. You can do this from a seated or a standing position. I'm going to demonstrate standing up, but I'm going to do them sitting down. Standing up, I'm going to have both hands on a chair. Feet are nice and wide, wider than my shoulders. I'm going up on my toes, and then I'm going down. We can do the same thing sitting down. Okay, we are going up 6 times. Here, away we go. Up and down. That's 1. Up and down. That's 2. Up and down. Here's 4 and 5. Last 1. Here's 6. All right, we just finished our strength training. Good job, everybody. So now we are getting into our balance segment of our class here. So how about we do a little bit of Johnny Cash to start things off? You know what I mean when I say Johnny Cash. We are walking the line. So just pretend with me for a second if you can. There's an imaginary line right in front of you. You're going to line up your feet so they're one in front of the other. Put your hands out. It does help to have a chair nearby if you need to support yourself, or at least have your hand on the wall. That's another great way to support yourself. You can put one foot in front of the other. It does help to put your hands out to the side. Pretend you're walking that line, that Johnny Cash. And let's go back all the way. Alright, we're going to do that one more time. Pretend there's that line in front of you. You're going to walk that line. And let's go back. We're going to walk that line one more time. This time we're going to have a freeze in there. For some of you that your symptoms manifest itself, that when you're walking, you have a freezing episode. This is a great time to practice, to train our brain, to still be able to talk to our muscles, to at least make those micro adjustments, keeping us upright. So it could be micro adjustments within our hips, it could be in our knees, it could be just keeping our upper body nice and solid, our core nice and strong. So we're going to walk forward and freeze, holding it there, forward And freeze, holding it there. Again, our brain is remembering all of this. You could be making adjustments in your hips, sometimes in your upper body, keeping your head straight, in your knees, even in your ankles. Going forward. And let's go back. Alright, now we're going to do a little bit of rocking. So, great way to do this is just keeping your feet wider than your shoulders. You can stagger your feet, one foot in front of the other. Might be easier if I showed you like this. Feet are nice and wide, feet are staggered. I'm leaning forward. I'm going to have a chair to hang on to here. I'm leaning forward. Holding it there. Again, your brain is remembering all of this. And back. So the more we work at it, it's just going to become second nature. So if you do have a freezing episode, theory is your body will be able to make those tiny little changes in order to keep you standing upright. Looking forward. And back. With aging in general, it does get a little bit more challenging to keep your balance. Putting your feet side to side. Now we're going to put the other foot in front. Other foot is in the back. Leaning forward. A lot of your upper body weight's going to be on your front foot. Lean back. Leaning forward again. And back. Alright, so now we're going to do our one-legged stand. There's two ways that you can do this. One way is just by simply raising one foot up in front like this. Or if you want, you can just have your foot back like this. The big thing is, though, we want to be standing on one foot. Standing there. I have a hand on my chair here. It just offers me a little bit of extra stability if I need it. But if you don't need it, again, it is good to challenge yourself. So you can take your hand off. It does make a difference by putting your arms out. Holding it there. And down. What we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. Balancing on one foot. You might be able to see in my knee, it is making just tiny little adjustments in order to keep me upright. We're going to do one more time each foot. Standing there. There you go. Holding it, holding it, holding it. And down. Last time. Other foot. Okay, now we're going to put our feet nice and wide. We're going to shift our weight over to one side. As you can see, I've got my foot on the ground here. My toes on the ground. If you need to, you can challenge yourself. You can pick your foot up off the ground. But again, it feels more comfortable for you and safer for you to have one foot on the ground. You can have one hand on the chair, two hands on the chair, whatever is best for you. Safety first. Shifting our weight from one foot. Now let's shift our weight to the other foot. Again, it does make a difference having your arms out to the side. We're going to do one more time each side. This time I'm actually going to close one eye. And down the other side. I'll close my other eye. Believe it or not, we do have one dominant eye. And that's it for our balance training. We have completed our cardio warm-up, our cardio cool down, our strength training, our balance training. Now it's time for our flexibility. Gang, we are getting somewhere. This feels good. Alright, first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to stretch out my calf. This can be done from a standing position. the standing position, I'm going to hang on to my chair like this. I'm sticking one leg out to the back, my toe is going on the ground, and I'm just pressing my heel down. I'm working on my balance. So that's what it looks like if you're standing up. If you're sitting down, what I'm going to ask you to do is just bring your toes back towards. Again, you're going to be stretching out your calf that way. So we're going to do a couple times each foot. If you're standing and the toe goes down, press your heel down. That feels good on the back side, lower part of your leg. It's your calves. Think of your postures, put some nice big smiles on our faces. All those endorphins rushing through our body, making us feel good. A sense of accomplishment. Bringing our feet together. Changing the other foot. Toe goes down. We're pressing our heel down. You're doing everything you can to manage those symptoms. And if you're doing this with your care partner, this is something you're doing together. Something to celebrate. It feels good to exercise with a partner. Oh yeah, I feel that one in my right calf. Feet together one more time, each foot. Toe goes down, heel goes down. When you have somebody to exercise with, sometimes they hold you accountable. They're expecting you to be there. They're all ready and they want you there. That's a good thing. Feet together, last time. Foot goes back, toe goes down. Press that heel. Feel that stretch, the lower part of your leg, backside. Okay, now we're going to stretch our lower back. I'm going to do this from a sitting position. Stretching our lower back, we are going to place our hands underneath one thigh. You're going to lift your leg up like this, stretching your lower back. That feels good too, especially if you've been sitting all day. Back gets sore. This is one way to stretch out your back, your lower back. And down, other leg. Hand goes underneath, pulling up. Now we're going to stretch out our forearms. It's been a while since we've done this, so I'm going to ask you to put the palm of your hand against your fingertips, and you're just going to be pulling back, so you should feel the stretch in your forearm. So yeah, working on stretching and your flexibility does help with managing any sort of pain that you might have related to Parkinson. You know, your muscles get really tight. You're going to stretch them, going to lengthen them, helps manage the pain. If your muscles are contracting all the time, that's very painful. It feels good to stretch it out. Now we're going to do a little bit of flexion here. You're going to take your hand, you're going to press them on your fingers. Again, we're always looking for balance. When you do stretching on one side, you got to stretch the other. Shake it out. And we're going to do the other arm. Hands going on your fingertips, pulling your fingers back. And you should feel the stretch along your forearm. Holding it there. Flexion. So ideally you want to hold every stretch for at least 30 seconds in duration. It does take a while for your brain to send the signals back to the muscle saying, yeah, it's okay. You can do that. You can push a little bit further. Okay, and we're going to finish off our stretching with a tricep stretch. So I'm going to ask you to swoop up underneath. You're going to grab your elbow like this, and you're going to pull your arm tight to your body. So you're stretching the top part of your arm, the back side. These are our extending muscles. So these muscles right here, these are our triceps. What we do to one arm, we're going to do to the other. Again, swoop up underneath. You're going to grab your elbow, you're going to bring your arm in nice and tight to your body. Think of your posture, sitting up nice and straight. let's finish this whole thing off with our Parkinson specific exercises. These are some of my favorite exercises that we can be doing. Alright, so what we're going to do is that we are going to do a shoulder check. Checking over one side, nice, slow, very purposeful, looking to see if there's anybody coming up behind us here. This is something that has to be done slow. We're not looking for any pain. Bring your head back to neutral position. Looking over your other shoulder. Again, you should be feeling the stretch right over there. Head to neutral position. Now we're going to do chin to chest. Gently straight down, holding it there. Head back to neutral position. One more time down. And up. Alright. We are going to work on our eyes now. We're going to look straight up. Straight up. Those little muscles that control our eyes, we still have to work on those. Eyes to neutral. Now we're going down. Look straight down. Keep your head in neutral position. Again, it's the muscles of our eyes that we're actually exercising right now. People often overlook those. Eyes back to neutral. Now we're going to look that way, keeping your head in a neutral position. Eyes neutral. Now we're going to go look that way. Back to neutral. Now we are going to work on our tongue. So we're going to stick our tongue out and up. Tongue back in. Now we're going to stick our tongue out and down. And in, out, and to that side. And out and to that side. Opening your mouth nice and wide, our jaw muscles that we're using for chewing our food. Transition to a smile, great big smile. There we go, almost done our class, feeling good about ourselves. Great big smile. Jaw wide open again. Great big smile. And that's it. Oh, we are done. Holy moly. You've just done almost an hour's worth of exercise here, gang. So I really want to thank you for participating in today's class. And don't forget that next month, the month of September, yes, September is only like a month away. We have the Parkinson Canada Super Walk. This year's walk is a virtual walk. So we are encouraging you to be walking in your neighborhood with family and friends. We're still collecting pledges. We're still fundraising because we want to be able to continue offering you all this programming that hopefully is adding a better quality of life for you and or your caregivers. And of course, you know, we are an organization. We are channeling a lot of money towards research because we want to find a cure for Parkinson before sooner than later. So with that, my friends, I'll see you at the next class. Take care. Bye-bye.